Hey everyone, this is Sean Elliott with the Grisak Group. Thank you for stopping in today, here to hear about the quarter two data from 2026. And with me today is our wonderful agent, beautiful Christy Zemeyer. Did I say that right? I always get your name wrong.
You do not,
It's
you
it's
liar.
spelled like Shashevsky. I mean, it's like the hardest thing to spell. But yeah. So Christy, thank you for joining in today, just
Too
to
many
kind of
vowels.
just to chat about the market a little bit. I know you're super busy right now. Been a busy summer for you, so thank you for taking the time.
Yes,
Appreciate
you're
it.
welcome, of course. Love it.
Okay, so with these videos, Jason will pop up slides at the bottom just to kind of show what we're talking about. But this is from Chartmasters, just a proprietary software that we have here at Keller Williams. It basically takes MLS data and scrubs it for errors, emissions, things like that. So the data is usually a little bit better than MLS. And really, what we're looking at is just comparing the second quarter of 2026 versus the second quarter of 2025. Just see during that 3 month window what kind of changed. So, I mean, you're in the trenches every day working with buyers, sellers,
Yep.
just reading the market. Before I show data and give you actual numbers,
Yes.
just what's kind of been your feel this year? It's been kind of a weird market.
A weird market. Yeah, every year has a little different feel, right?
Yep.
To it. Uh well, it feels when people ask me that question, my answer is that it feels to me like a normal market
Yeah.
is really what it feels like. Some people say it feels a little tough. I mean, I've been in this business for 20 years,
Yeah.
right? And
You've been doing
so,
this longer than any of us.
yeah, it's a long time. So
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of different markets,
Yep.
a lot of ups and downs and good markets and what we consider bad markets,
Yeah.
And so when I say normal market, that just means that it feels a little more balanced,
Yeah.
and that you have to prep your homes correctly. You have to strategically price your homes correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Buyers have choices.
Yep.
It's like equal balance between negotiations of buyer and seller.
Yeah.
And so it kind of feels more normal to me,
I
really.
agree completely. I mean, that is probably the most often, or the most popular question that we
Mhm.
get when we meet people. How's the market? How's the market? And my answer is pretty similar. It's like it's all based on perspective. I
Right,
mean, if you're
right.
really just comparing this to 4 years ago, yeah, it feels like it's worse. But
Then it feels tough.
if you compare this to 2008, it feels amazing. So I mean,
Right, right.
it's all a matter
It's
of
perspective.
perspective. But I agree. Like we're definitely back in a more balanced position now, and I think
Hmm.
these numbers basically speak to that. So I know we've talked a lot about Iran this year, that, the market felt like it was ready to kind of explode again
It
in a way.
did.
It felt like buyers were really getting motivated again. Rates were coming down into the high fives instead of the low sevens. And so like that motivation was there. And we were kind of expecting this year to be a really fast spring.
We did. We felt like, there's always that feel to the market
Yes.
in the beginning where you're like, okay, here we go.
I know it's just
And we
weird.
felt that.
You like in the things people say and the decisions they make, there was just this energy around the market that I felt like, man, 2026 is going to be pretty
Yeah.
big.
Uh-huh.
I
We
think we
did.
all
We
felt
felt
it.
that. Hmm.
And then Iran happened and
Hmm.
rates shot back up
Yeah.
and just everything kind of just paused.
Yeah.
So I was anxious to see these second quarter numbers, since a lot of these decisions were in that time frame.
Yeah.
So let's dive in and see
Okay.
what
I haven't
actually
seen these
happened.
numbers. I haven't seen these numbers you're looking at.
I know.
So this will
I'm the
be,
data nerd. I'm the one that
yes.
looks over all
Yes.
this.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the first slide 5 just shows, and this is we're sticking to greater Dallas area in these numbers. We're not going county by county yet. We'll get to that, but this is just North Texas in general.
Okay.
So Keller Williams did finish as the top broker over the second quarter. We've got 8.8% of the market, and our closest competitor is Compass at 4.5%. So Keller Williams is rocking it.
That's
Love this
that's
company.
huge.
Yep. Slide 7. This one we show each time. It just kind of shows the red bars at the bottom are how many homes sold. The gray bars are how many homes are listed, and the blue line is mortgage rates. So the red lines, like it's pretty much like it was last year. Very similar in terms of number of people actually making buying decisions and purchasing a home. The gray bars are way up like they have been for the last couple of years, but it's actually starting to come down a little bit. Inventory is actually dropping
Hmm.
compared to last year, and we'll see
Hmm.
those numbers. And then if you look at the blue line, you see it did drop to start the year. Like we said, it was basically under 6 for most people. And then Iran happened, and you see that blue line just shoot right back up, but now it's kind of leveled out a bit. So most buyers that I'm working with, they're being quoted, low sixes, 6.5, somewhere in that
Yep,
range right now. In most cases, is that what
exactly.
you're seeing?
Yep, that's what
Yep.
I'm seeing too.
Yep. So slide 10. So this one shows the change in active listings compared to second quarter last year. And really, for most price points, inventory is down. The only price points that there's more homes on the ground compared to last year are sub 300. That seem weird to you, or does that seem accurate?
It seems accurate, like, when I do my price assessments.
Mhm.
When I do my price assessments, for buyers or sellers, because I do them
Mhm.
for both, right?
Yep.
When a buyer wants to move forward on a property, I look to make sure it's priced appropriately, and we see what we wanna offer and all that kinda
Part of
stuff,
the
and then
job.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. So, when I'm doing that and I'm looking at inventory from that perspective,
Mhm.
whether it's for a listing or a buyer, I'm feeling that. There's just not as much
There's less to
inventory to
draw
look at.
from. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yep.
found that too. When you're trying to bring in comps, there are fewer, it
There are
feels like,
fewer.
to
Mhm.
choose from.
Yep.
Yep. So I think that data is pretty accurate.
Mhm.
Next, number 12. Okay, so my question to you, so there's fewer homes out there. What does it feel like in terms of the homes that are going under contract? Do you feel like that's the same as last year, up a little bit, down a little bit? Just kind of your feel. Were more people making decisions during the second quarter or not?
Ooh, that is kind of a tough
It
question,
is.
actually.
I know.
Um,
Because it also depends on who you're working with. I mean, you
right,
may be working with some buyers right now that are still on the fence and kind of waiting for the
right, because
right
that's kinda
thing.
come in
And,
waves.
uh huh. Yep.
Um,
But if you had to guess in general, more homes go pending during this quarter or during the second quarter this year as compared to last, or fewer?
my gut is to say that it's potentially somewhat close,
Mm-hmm.
maybe slightly down.
Number says it's actually
Slightly
slightly
up?
up.
Is it?
It's up about
Okay.
4% from a year ago. But when you
4.
when you look inside the
Okay,
numbers,
mhm.
the biggest gains were
Price
homes
point.
under 350.
Yes, okay.
So the number of pendings
Bingo.
for those lower price homes went up a lot.
Yes.
When you look at 700 and up,
Yeah.
which is the vast majority of what we do,
Mhm.
under it, it all dropped by
Okay, so
5%.
that's
So
really
you
kinda what
you
I
were
was
right
referring
on
to.
track, but in
Yeah.
general, the total number of
Yeah.
pendings actually went up. But again, it did depend on price point.
Okay.
Way to go. So
Okay.
good. Okay, next one. So same question, but now for the ones that actually closed. So we just talked about the homes that went under contract that were pending, but in terms of the ones that closed, and you got to consider homes that closed during the second quarter, a lot of those were contracted at the end of the first quarter, right?
Mm.
So before the Iran thing really happened, and we felt that momentum coming into the year where buyers were ready to make decisions, some of those decisions did close in the second quarter. So what do you think? Were closings up or down? I know you didn't know you were going to be quizzed today.
I didn't. Were closings up going into the year, you were asking? Is
No,
that what you
so
said?
the number that actually closed in Q2
Oh, okay.
in the Dallas area, is it more closings this year
Versus last year.
versus last year, second quarter?
Slightly more.
It is up. Very good. 4.5%.
4%.
And this one is surprising to me. If you look at a million plus,
Mhm.
which we think maybe that went down because the
Mhm.
pendings were down, it was up 13%.
Yeah.
Big gain.
Mhm.
So there were a lot of $1 million buyers that
Mhm.
decided to pull the trigger and close that home in the second quarter. Yeah,
That one I feel like I kind of felt, which makes sense because that 13% is a pretty big number, actually.
it's huge.
Yeah.
That's big gain.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So people are
Okay.
still buying, and
Wow.
they're buying expensive homes.
Interesting number. Wow.
Next slide, 15, just shows months of inventory. The industry standard is, if you have 3 to 4 months inventory, that's a pretty balanced market.
Mm.
And that's where most everything is. I mean, again, the lower homes, that inventory is a little bit lower because as we saw, those are moving a little bit quicker. But in general, pretty much every price point, the months of inventory went down as compared to last year.
Mm.
So right now that number's in the low 4 months or whatever. So like we talked about, that's really a balanced market,
Mhm.
which is good. It's
Yep.
healthy.
Which is exactly what I'm feeling, which is I feel like it's the normal market.
Exactly, exactly. No, it
Yeah.
really, really is.
Mhm.
Okay, next one's 16. This is talking about how much did a seller get compared to their original list price.
Mm.
So not
List to
include
sell ratios.
exactly. And
Okay.
so if you had to guess, during the second quarter, what were most sellers getting of where they started? So if
Mm.
they started at a million, did they get 92% of it?
So
Did they get
so
98%
that's
of it?
interesting. So I probably am not going to get your overall statistics correctly because that varies drastically, even depending on which report I pull.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so if I am pricing a home for my buyer or seller, or whatever, and depending on what I'm specifically looking at, that's going to vary drastically.
it does.
And so to get what number you're looking at would be like a shot in the dark,
It
right?
is.
But if I'm just going to guess as a whole, um, gosh, I mean, you really have to be listed appropriately,
Mhm.
which I feel like took sellers a long time to realize that that has to be the case these
And that's
days.
actually a slide we'll see in a second. If
Really?
if
Yeah.
a seller priced appropriately at the beginning
Yes.
and didn't have to do price reduction, sit on market, that's one
Well,
number.
yes.
And if they did,
Then
if
it's
they
then
overpriced,
it's
that number drops a lot. But
then
when
you're talking like 90% or lower
you'll see,
or
you'll see, and
you're
you're
I
actually
bet.
very, very close.
Really?
Yeah. So when
Okay.
you put it all together, when you include the people that price appropriately, probably got most of what they were
Yeah.
asking, and then everybody else that didn't, like, where would you put that number? Shot in the dark.
Um, for that, I would say, let's say 96.
96.0%. You got it on the
Yes.
dot. My goodness.
Okay.
And again, it varies by price point,
Yeah, it does.
obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, the million plus was pretty close. It was 95.5% of
Okay.
what they were asking originally. But in general, if you go into it, 96% of what you're asking is what the median is. That's what most of the data
Yeah.
points to. But again, if you price appropriately up front, it does do higher. And I'll show you the stat for that. So next one, 17, is just showing days on market. So do you think it's up, down, level from a year ago?
Um, Shockingly, when I look through these things and pricing things, I feel like its market time has kind of held its own
Hmm.
pretty well.
You are right. Last year it was 44 for the median days on market before sale, and this year was 46.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
up 2 days, right around the
Okay.
same. Next, 18. How many sellers do you think had to do a price reduction in Q2 to get the job done?
Like percentage wise?
No, you just, yeah.
Just
So you got 100 homes out there. If they all sold, how many of them in Q2 had to do a price reduction before it got done? I know.
question.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Like right now, I feel like, I mean, you're seeing price reductions like crazy.
Every day I come in the
I
office
mean,
and I
it's
open
like
up MLS, I say,
boom,
"Oh,
there's
that
more
dropped,
price
that
reductions
dropped,
than
that dropped."
anything
Mhm.
status change wise
Yep,
happening right now.
yep.
Um, I
More or less
mean,
than half.
I was gonna say 50%.
50.2.
Really?
You're killing it, girl. There should be a prize at the end of this.
Yes, can we?
Yeah, so about half the homes are having to drop price.
Okay.
When they're doing a price drop, it's looking like they had to come down about 6% in total
Okay.
to get the job done in Q2 of this year, and last year it was 5.7%. So people are having to drop a little bit more this year to get it done. Next one, 20. This is the one you were just talking about.
Okay.
So if a home didn't have to reduce their price,
Mhm.
the median for those sellers was 99.7% of
Mhm.
what they were asking, super high.
Yep.
So obviously they priced right, home was in great shape, and buyers saw that and they're like, I'm not waiting. I got to get this.
Ideal situation.
Ideal. Yep.
And it's so important when you're listing your house and to have that conversation and
Mm-hmm.
then hopefully a seller understands how important to align that situation is to get the most money for
Mm-hmm.
your home.
Yep. Because the other way it can go is this next number. If a home did have to do a price reduction, where they ended up
Mm.
is close to what you said. It's 91%.
Yeah.
So if you've got that person that, you gave them your opinion of value, and there's plenty of data, and we've sold homes like that before, and we just have a great feel for it. And that seller says, okay, I hear you, but let's list it 3 or 4% higher. That way I have room to negotiate if I need to, and maybe we hit a home run, whatever. I get it. But the possible consequence could be 9% lower
Mhm.
from where you started. So trying to get an extra 3 to 4% and risking losing 9%, and when we're talking expensive homes, that's a lot of money.
It's like I understand when because we hear that a lot, and I
Yeah,
understand the perspective
yeah,
of the strategy of why sometimes people think that that sounds like a good idea,
I know.
and we just have to explain why that strategy doesn't work.
Risky.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's risky. I
Mhm.
mean, we see plenty of surprises where, we price something, our seller wants to go a little bit higher and we manage to make it happen. I mean, crazy things happen, but much more often, and the data certainly supports that doing that, you're probably shooting yourself in the foot.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. 22. This is just so drastic. So if a home sold without a price drop, their days on market was around 2 weeks. That's how long it took.
Yeah.
So, and we say that all the
With
time. I mean,
first couple weeks on the
first
market
2
is
to
the
3
most
weeks is your
important too.
best
Yep.
chance of getting 100%.
Yep.
If they did do a price drop, what do you think those days on market look like on
Mm.
average? I'll give you a hint, it jumped a lot.
Mhm.
It jumped a lot.
Um,
117.
117.
And again,
And that's across the board, right?
we're talking
Yeah.
everywhere in North
We're not
Texas. So, I
talking
mean,
yeah.
we're
Yeah, yeah.
talking Rockwall and Fort Worth and
Yeah.
everything. So it's not necessarily our county, but
But
yeah, it went up
that's
to 117.
wow.
Big, big difference.
Those
Okay.
are good stats
They
to
are.
look at
Yeah.
because that right there shows
That's real
the
money.
difference
That's
between
carrying cost for 3,
wow.
4 months that
Yes.
you wouldn't have had to have. That's taxes. That's people coming into your house at
Mhm.
inconvenient times, and you
Mhm.
gotta keep it clean and get the dogs out, and I mean, that's
Mhm.
a long time to be sitting on market. People that maybe
And you end
haven't.
up selling for less than you would have in that first 2 weeks.
Exactly, exactly. Being on market is difficult. I mean, anybody that's gone through it recently, it's
Yeah.
not exactly fun. You
Mm.
got people coming into your house. You've
Mhm.
always got to pick up.
Mhm.
It's not something that you want to be doing for 4 months.
Yeah.
No,
Stressful.
you really don't.
Mhm.
Okay, next one, 24. I did guess just a number.
Okay.
How many listings failed in the second quarter? What percentage? That they tried it
Mm.
out, just didn't happen. They had to pull off market.
Flat out cancel or relisted or
This is
it's just
just
a
it came out of MLS. They may have relisted, but
okay,
it
but
wasn't working
canceled
and they
listings.
canceled. Yep.
Guys?
Mhm. 29,
Oh,
pretty close.
okay.
So not quite a third of the market, but
Okay.
in that range, and that's actually a little bit better than last year. Second quarter last year was 30%, so
Okay.
down a little bit. Next one is 27. How many sellers out there do you think got over their asking price?
Ones that strategically
Mm-hmm.
priced among the competition.
Mm-hmm. Yep. How many?
Um,
What percentage of the homes out there actually achieve that? This one always surprised me. I would always guess lower. What it actually, and maybe that's again because of the price point we work
hmm.
in. Jeopardy music in the
I know.
background of
Dun,
this.
dun, dun, dun,
Jason,
dun.
make sure you put in some Jeopardy
I
music.
know. I'm like my wheels are spinning. I'm like literally I'm like really thinking about this. Um you said over 100?
Yeah, how many people got more than what they were asking? Where they got multiple offers and the buyer had to go a little high to win.
12%.
25. I know. See, that's what I'm
25%.
saying. I always think it's around maybe 10% because I
Nice.
mean we see it occasionally, but
Yeah.
it's certainly not the norm anymore.
Yeah.
But 25%. But again, that could be
Yeah.
$300,000 homes. But I mean,
Right.
even
That's
the
a
million,
good that's
even the million plus, it's at 26%. Big number. Pricing at the beginning, it matters.
yep, it just
Okay,
does.
29, seller paid closing costs. So, um, part of the contract negotiation is a buyer can say, "Hey, I need a credit for
Yeah.
this or that, or, buy down my rate, whatever." How many sellers do you think had to do that to get the job done? Pretty common now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those things are parts of contracts days.
It is a normal thing
It's a
now
normal
for
thing.
most of
Yeah.
them. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm probably a good number.
It is.
Give your number.
I'll give it to you. I'll give you a break. 58%
58%. Okay, yeah. I mean,
over half the
gonna
market.
say about
Yep.
50 probably,
And
for
that's
sure.
another thing our sellers need to consider. I mean, again, going back to the initial pricing, I mean, if you get that offer in the first
Mhm.
week for full price,
Yeah.
that person is probably not going to ask you for a whole bunch of credits to
Right.
get the job done because they know it's a brand
Mhm.
new, beautiful listing. It's well
Mhm.
priced. Somebody else can come in. They're going to give you the most attractive offer they can possibly put together.
Yep.
You've been on the market for 100 days. Nobody's made an offer. Guess what? That buyer's probably going to chisel away at you a little bit.
Exactly. That is a very, very good point
Mm,
because
I
when
do make good
when a
points.
buyer's agent, yes, you do. When a buyer's agent representing a buyer is discussing strategy of an offer with their client, how long that property has been on the market, there's a lot of things that goes into it, but
Mhm.
that's one of them. And strategically, a home that just went on the market, your strategy and offer is going to be different.
The leverage is different at that
It
point.
it it is
Yeah.
of whether or not you would potentially have other buyers that are going to be writing an offer, and
Yep.
whether or not you're going to ask, you're maybe going to offer to pay the title, or it's definitely going to be a seller's. I mean, there's so many different
And
things with it.
they can add up to tens of thousands of
Tens of
dollars.
thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Yep. No, I agree completely.
Absolutely.
Okay, 41. I just selected Allen, Salina, McKinney, and Fairview Lucas Parker. So that's kind of,
Yep.
our main
Okay.
area. And Salina's been interesting because it exploded and now
Yes, it
it's
did.
like things have kind of calmed down a little bit.
Hmm.
So I'll just tell you these, it's too many numbers to go through. But Allen, the pending sales were up huge, 56%. So a lot more people made decisions in Allen.
It's a big number.
But the number sold was down 7%, which seems a little
Hmm.
weird. But
That's
prices
interesting.
in Allen across the board were down 4.4%. So a few, less people buying, but more people making a decision in the second quarter. Pendings are way up. So I would anticipate when we look at this in Q3 that
Q3.
sales price is probably going to be a little bit higher, but down 4%. Salina, people are still buying. Pendings are up, solds are up, but prices are down 10%.
10% for
hmm
Salina.
I don't know if that's just
Huh.
new builders
New
out
build.
there that are
Yep.
building lower
Because there's a
priced
lot of that
entry
going
level
on.
homes. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. But prices in Salina down 10% from last year. McKinney, pendings are down 12, solds are down 3, and prices are level. So not much change in McKinney prices. Fairview Lucas Parker, where we do most of our business.
Mm-hmm.
The total number of sales in Q2 was down 8%. But like Allen, the number of pendings, the
Mm-hmm.
people that made a decision in Q2
Mm-hmm.
was up pretty drastically,
Mm-hmm.
23%,
Mm-hmm.
23.7. But what do you think prices did in Fairview Lucas Parker compared to last year? Up, down, level?
Um,
I'm hit on the table, sorry.
I I feel like it pretty level.
hmm
Pretty level.
You would be correct. Down
Yeah,
2.2%.
maybe I was gonna say maybe barely ever so slightly down.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. And
Okay.
again, like we've talked about, you got to look at what was actually sold. It could have been more homes that sold for 800 instead of 1.3.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but prices, at least the stats, down 2.2%.
Okay.
Almost done with this one. Slide 50. What did I throw in 50? Oh, because this is always kind of interesting to me. So this is showing the median sales price for new construction versus resale. And forever, for the past, since this data has been drawn since 2018, the median price for a used home has been lower than the median price for a new home.
Mm.
That has now changed. So in the second quarter of this year, the median sales price for a used home was 409. The median price for a brand new home was 385. What do you think explains that?
And where did this
That's all of DFW.
DFW?
hmm So a used home is now statistically more expensive than a brand new home. I think Jason can speak to this because he just bought a new home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just kind of a construction
hmm
is what they
And
need to become a lot more competitive. Their
they do.
package kind
They're
of stuff.
given, you know,
Yeah.
tons of credits and different things to
Yeah.
design and buying down your rate and all that.
Yeah.
And I think just this area is getting to a point that the values have grown so much
Mm-hmm.
that builders are very aware that there need to be less expensive options.
Yeah, right.
And so they're
That's
building
yep.
homes that are, you know, maybe not quite at the level of finish out that they would do before,
Mhm.
smaller in size, but they're more affordable because they
Mhm.
know there's a huge market for that. And in different locations that are maybe off the beaten path a little bit. Got to drive a little bit.
I live in the town we're talking about.
Jason drives from the office back to Princeton every day, and depending on the traffic, it can take him quite a while. The last one in here, 66. Yeah, this just shows the last basically 6 years of median prices changed, and you see from 2019 to 2022, all green prices just go up, go up, go up, go up, go up, and then once you get to the second quarter of 2023, everything levels out, and it's just stayed pretty consistent. So
Mhm.
overall prices in North Texas were down 1.3% from a year ago. So again, pretty level.
Pretty
Okay, good work.
Thank
You
you.
crushed that.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so wrapping this up, we looked at all of North Texas. Now we're just looking more county, city, just for the people that are watching. They're probably in Collin County in the areas we work. So this first one is just showing total number of solds. Collin County was up 4%. Seems about right. Like we
Mhm.
said, I mean, it
Yeah,
seemed like
that
more
does.
people were
Yep.
ready to start buying at the beginning of the year, and then those closed in Q2.
Mhm.
9 median sales price in Collin County, pretty much what you'd expect, down 2.6%.
Mhm.
Overall, pretty level when you consider that some less expensive homes were being purchased.
Mm.
Rockwall was up big though. And I mean, we've
Yeah.
seen that. I've
Yeah.
got two people looking in Rockwall
Yep.
right now, and
Rockwell's been
those
pretty big.
prices went up 7% compared to a year ago.
It's pretty big.
It is. It is pretty saucy. 11 shows change in median days on market. Collin County, it took longer. Days on market were up 11%. Took a little bit longer to get the job done. 24, racing through this. Months of supply in Collin County. Like you said, it feels like a balanced market, and it's
Yeah.
right at that number, 4 months.
Yep.
So very
Very
level.
balanced.
29. Okay, this goes by city. Do you think, or actually, we already talked about it. Allen's sales were down, but the pendings were way up.
Mm.
And Fairview Lucas Parker, I think we mentioned that too. Sales were down. So fewer homes
Mhm.
actually sold, but again, pendings were up. So when we look at this in
Yeah,
Q3,
I'm
those
curious to
numbers
see
will
what that's
be
gonna do.
a little bit
Mhm.
different. So Christy, that is it. Thank you. I mean, it kind of ended where we started. Like your gut feel of the market based on what you do was pretty much supported by every number out here. So I agree with you. It's just kind of a different environment, but really a more stable one, just
Mhm.
kind of a balanced market. So pricing at the beginning is very important. Getting the home ready, staged, in good condition. That's always been the case, but it's really important in a balanced market. Any closing thoughts?
Well, I think just that. I mean, because in a normal market, that is what you have to do.
Yep.
Sellers, we need to guide our sellers into
Hmm.
exactly what to do to prep the home and exactly strategically where to price it to create that condition
Yeah,
to potentially go under contract early without a price reduction
that's the
and to
goal.
get the, most money out of it.
Yep.
Buyers have homes to choose from and they tend to take a little bit longer and your home has to look the best that it possibly can. And
Right on.
that's what
That's what it
we
is.
do.
That's
So
what we do. That's all we do,
that's
all day,
yes,
every
and
day.
that's what we do.
Well, very good.
So
Well, again, thank you for coming up today to help with this. Jason, thank
yeah,
you for
thank you.
helping on the board. And anybody watching, thank you so much for stopping down to hear this. And if you need anything, if you're thinking about buying or selling, and you want to just have a chat with us, we'd be happy to do that. Thanks, everybody.